Well, we mentioned this a moment ago. It's a tactic that apparently has run out of gas and isn't working anymore. But the White House continues to bash President Bush. Listen.
Remember what he inherited here. He walked in the door. We had the worst economy since the Great Depression. He had to take immediate steps to pull us back from what many thought might be a Great Depression.
Let's remember the conditions that the president inherited. A global meltdown, and we now realize that it was actually far worse than we realized at the time when he came in office in January.
The hole that we inherited and the hole that we have to fill is very, very deep.
I am less interested in passing out blame than I am in learning from and correcting these mistakes. Ultimately, the buck stops with me.
Interesting,
really?
Laura, is that his advisors did not get their saved job numbers all on the same page, but they did get that message all on the same page on the Sunday talk shows. That, I mean, quite frankly, they've had a really bad week. So
well, remember last spring, you guys, I was here and we were talking about this. I inherited this. This is the worst economy ever. And in March of last year, I was saying, and I think you guys were saying as well, this just comes across as immature. Okay, you ran to be president of the United States because you think you had a good set of ideas and you wanted to implement them. And you know when it looked really ridiculous is when President Bush was standing so graciously next to President Obama and President Clinton at the White House. He couldn't have been more gracious. He couldn't have been more kind. Couldn't have been more generous. After everything that they've said about him and after all the times they've trashed him in the past several months, that shows you the character of that man. And I think that's why a lot of people in these polls are now saying, well, maybe that Bush guy wasn't quite as bad as we thought.
Yeah.
So.